Good morning, everybody. We are here at Earl Johnson Memorial Park in Jacksonville, Florida, and it's been about a week since we've been here, and I'm gonna start doing another cleanup. And it completely amazes me every time I come out here with how quickly trash and that type of thing kind of pile up. I'm gonna give you guys an idea of how much trash can accumulate literally in a week. It's been a week since we came out here and did a full cleanup, okay? And I can't remember how many pounds of trash we picked up, but it was a decent amount last week. And I'm gonna show you guys just a quick highlight of what is actually out here from 1 week. 1 week. And by the way, there's trash cans everywhere, but 1 week, let me show you guys this stuff. By the way, apologies for being filming on my phone. Normally I have a little bit of camera or something like that, so it's not as shaky or audio is not as bad. But I forgot all my SD cards, and that happens. So just to illustrate some of the trash that's in just this one general little area, this is just the main little the main pavilion area here, where the bulk of people kind of come and have lunch and that type of thing. There's a little park bench right here as well. And this is the bulk of the area that people hang out in, but you have all around this entire area that I haven't looked at yet, and I'm really curious. I'm gonna walk around there as I'm doing the cleanup here and see what else is out there. But anyway, let's get to work. Also, I've got 4 dogs and can barely control them. And this fellow's got a herd with him. Insane. We're still in the same area where the main pavilion is, and I just wanted to show you some of the most common things that we see. Always styrofoam. There's always styrofoam from people's lunch containers and things like that. There's one in the water that I can't reach. Water bottles, beer bottles, the most common thing that we find. Lots of styrofoam, lots of plastic bags. And just in this area that I'm sitting here, we've got this piece of plastic. We've got a whole plastic bag here. We've got a bag of chips. And we've got another bag of chips. Oh, I didn't see that either. And again, that was just in this one little area. I almost walked right by them. I mean, some of these things, it's crazy how some of this stuff will pop back up on you, and you walk right by and don't even realize it's there. But you know, we come out here once a week. We try to come out here once a week and kind of keep things caught up. Otherwise, you have to come out here and spend hours and hours and hours because it builds up so bad. And I think a lot of this is people just kind of chucking things into the water or just leaving it, not caring about it. Some of it's probably where it gets thrown into a bin and maybe a raccoon or an animal or something like that pulls it out. But a lot of the stuff, like these beer bottles that are in all these tree lines, like right there, guarantee there's going to be, you know, a few beer bottles in there. That's usually where people kind of chuck them as they're driving by. You can see another thing out here, especially lighters. We find a ton of lighters out here. I've probably found 6 of them today. Lots of lighters. Anyway, back to it. I will say I love this park. I've said it in previous videos, but I've been coming here since I was a kid. just listen and look how peaceful and nice this place is. Just listen. So nice. All right, I've talked about microplastics briefly in other videos, but I want to show you guys something. So this piece of Tupperware here, it's just been sitting out here in the sun for a little while. Now imagine this getting baked in the sun or sitting in the ocean or getting in a waterway or something where currents get a hold of it for years. I mean, you can already see just how brittle this is and how easy it is to break. I mean, you know how flexible this stuff normally is. But these little pieces will start breaking off of this thing, and when it gets to, I mean, they call it microplastics when it's around 5 millimeters or smaller, but you can absolutely see where these little things right here, not disposed of properly, and other items like that, it'll just start getting brittle and break up, and that's no bueno. And that is why I need a kayak. Another lighter. Now a lot of people think, oh, out of sight, out of mind, whatever. You just chuck things back here, or it actually looks like somebody might be hanging out back here. But let's get in here and get some stuff cleaned up. I really wish we could get this kind of crap to stop, but you know, there's a lot of stuff in here actually. Again, styrofoam is a really popular thing in here. Let's see if we can get that without ripping it up. This has been done sometimes. I'm normally much better prepared, but I cleaned out my truck and didn't have all my buckets and extra gear and you name it with me. And normally I'm not out here by myself, but hey, it's a nice morning and we are all good. A bunch of styrofoam to clean up right in this area. Told you, the most common thing we find out here is these styrofoam containers from people's lunches. They end up in the water. Luckily, they float, so we can get them. It just sucks when they float way out there where we're not able to get it. That's why I need to get me a kayak or a canoe or something so I can start getting the water line a lot better. Because a lot of things just inside the water line like this or just on the edge, I can get that stuff no problem. But the stuff that's, you know, 10 to 15 feet out, even when I have my boots with me, I still can't get out there and get that stuff. So I need to get me something that way I can get up, you know, get out about 15, 20 feet out, if not even further. And a lot of this stuff too, that looks like it's been here forever, it probably has been here for a very long time. Unfortunately, it'll dip down or kind of come back up, or it'll float out there and float back. So, you know, this is another bench area about halfway around the park. And around all the bench areas, you can bet there's gonna be a lot of trash, and there is. I mean, you can see it's kind of everywhere. So I'm gonna work on trying to get a trash can set up right out here. And basically our process with taking care of this park or being a friend of the park, which is the Friend of the Park program, is if we see any kind of major things that need to get done or something that can improve the park in any kind of way, you know, we submit the proposal to the city, they review it, and hopefully they take care of it. I mean, big things like rebuilding that pavilion one of these days because it's looking pretty rough, those might take a while, but I think I could probably get a trash can put up out here. The other thing is going to be, there's just an insane amount of cigarette butts everywhere, okay? And keep in mind, those cigarette filters are made of cellulose acetate, which is a type of plastic, and there's like 10 to 15,000 of them, little strands of plastic inside each of those filters. And those end up in this water, or they end up in the soil, they end up in the grass, they end up in the tree line, whatever. And it's very, very bad for anything it touches because of all the tar that's been collected in that used cigarette, which is basically just a mixture of all the chemicals that came out of the cigarette. So not good. But what I'm going to try and do also is I'm going to try and get some cigarette butt containers set up out here. Even if we have to buy them, that's fine. And just remember, all the purchases from Airganicliving.com, we donate $1 from every one of those pouches sold to fund this kind of stuff. So, you know, it's about $600 or so if we go through TerraCycle and order these cigarette butt containers from them, which I really like to, because TerraCycle, they'll send you boxes, they'll send you labels, so you can ship your cigarette butts basically to them that you collected, and they recycle them and they make things like park benches and stuff like that out of them, which is pretty awesome. So I definitely want to start working with them very soon. I mean, just remember, all those purchases you guys make at Airganicliving.com, that's what allows us to buy, you know, more tools like this, more trash bags, cigarette butt filters, and little things like that that we want to do to help improve this park and other places that we go. We go out to the woods a lot and spend a lot of time out there. I go out there just because I enjoy it. But while we're there, we usually make it a point to pick up, you know, at least one garbage bag full of trash. Usually we end up picking up 3 and 4 of them. Yeah, definitely help support the cause. And if you guys want to get involved, be sure to let me know. Send me a message or go to Airganicliving.com. Use the contact form out there. It's everywhere. And, you know, get involved, because it's a great feeling when you start doing the right thing and knowing that you're making an impact in protecting wildlife and their habitats, and also just making your community be safer and a lot more clean. Let's see if we can get this little guy. Ugh. You know, it's a very good feeling doing it. Yes, it is very frustrating when you first start getting into this type of thing, where you want to make a difference and you start doing it. It's very frustrating when you realize how much people really don't care. And you do have to kind of get past that a little bit, because if you just get frustrated like I did in the beginning, you've probably seen some of my earlier videos where I'm just frustrated calling people out. You do start to put that aside a little bit and just understand that generally people are pretty great. But there are people now and then that are just going to treat things like junk, and they don't care, or they just don't think about it, which kind of is not caring, I guess. Or they're not educated about how big of an impact this stuff can have on the environment. So anyway, so get involved, Airganicliving.com, or send me a message here and help support the cause so we can keep doing this stuff. And hopefully as we grow, we can start taking on more parks and start making a bigger impact in Jacksonville and beyond. So anyway, let's get back to it. Well, this will be a project for another day. Just realized we got a tire back here and an old thick blanket or something. So we'll have to get in here and get that out of here. All right, we just spent about an hour doing a cleanup, and we got about halfway around, or I got about halfway around, and we'll probably come out on Thursday and do the other half. But we made it to about, where are we at? We made it to about here, and what we'll do is come back and do the rest of this section on Thursday. Now, on the other side of this, out here, there's a big trail that goes around a whole nother pond or lake, whatever you want to call it, pond. And we're gonna do a walk around that as well. That needs a lot of trail maintenance, but we're gonna make it happen. Remember, every day pick up one piece of trash that isn't yours. Today I was able to I just weighed this bag and it was 21 pounds. Lots of bottles in there. But every day pick up one piece of trash that wasn't yours. You can make a huge impact, believe it or not, okay? And if you stumbled upon this video and you've watched it this far, then hopefully this kind of thing interests you and you wanna make a difference and help us out. So again, go to Airganicliving.com, show some love, show some support, or just like the video and share the video. That's all that we really ask for, to spread awareness and hopefully get some more people out here doing this type of thing with us and, you know, have fun. Like I said, everybody can better their community and help protect wildlife in every little way that you possibly do. If we get 100 more people doing this, just picking up one piece of trash every day, that's 100 more pieces of trash per day that are not gonna end up in the belly of an animal. And that's also gonna make your community look nicer and feel safer. So every day pick up one piece of trash that is yours. Support One Piece Project. Be a member of the One Piece Project just by doing that one thing. Have a good one.